Welcome to Fat Man Builds. Welcome to the workshop. On a lot of the videos, a lot of the comments I get are, oh, did you finish? What's happening with your summer house, your workshop? Did you finish it? Well, I did finish it, and it works really well. For those of you who don't know the series on the channel, so probably 2 years or more ago, I kept thinking about building a summer house in the end of the garden. Watched hand-eye craft video, Leo build a summer house, and that kind of inspired me to think, well, I can do that. I've no DIY. So yeah, about 2 years ago I started building it at weekends. It took about a good 18 months, and then probably another 3 or 4 months to finish kitting out the workshop. Obviously you don't get long at the weekends. So this is just to sort of say where I'm at now, 2 years later. Does it work? Doesn't it work? Well, it works really well actually. Really pleased with it. Yeah, everything's in here. I can come down here, get on with little projects. Anything needs doing in the house, all my tools I can get easily. I know where everything is. You'll remember video 2 or 3. I had the old shed here, which was kind of a workshop. Always wanted to have a nice workshop, and now I've got one. I'll show you around the various bits now and talk about each one as I go. So, starting on this side, got a PC under the bench. That's like a workstation they were getting rid of at work. So that's hooked up to a screen on the wall. I'll show you in a minute. Then I've got my Stanley Sortimo, poor man's Sortimo, all nuts and bolts and fixings in there, so I know everything is in there. Toolboxes under the bench that I can take out to do stuff. These storage, all different storage bins over here that pull out. That black thing here is a polisher. On that side I've got another heater like the one in the summer house. Hardly ever put it on in here, it's really warm. Maybe right in when it's really cold in winter I'll put it on. Pull out table saw, pull out mitre saw. I'll show you those in a minute. Right, now let's do the top level. Case of Foster's, first thing. That's the screen for the PC. Then this is obviously the French cleat wall. So this was built out of one sheet of ply. I'll do a video on this later. But I used a lot of the offcuts of bits left over from the summer house. Like the holders are made of cedar and offcuts of OSB. Kind of got screwdrivers, drills, hammers, sanders, files, all up on that French cleat wall. And I did think, would it work? And it actually is really good because you can do stuff like you can see I'm doing stuff here on the bench now. And you can just reach up, grab your tools, use them, put them back. So although that bench looks a bit messy, when I didn't have a French cleat wall, the bench would be a lot more messy. Actually just on the bench. So everything's built out of leftovers. So the bench is actually, the bench top is what I just exactly had enough left over from the floor in pieces to build the top for the bench. At the moment I've got it covered in this black rubber. These are actually built of old window frames. This was left over from the summer house. I had a few bits left over, so everything's really repurposed and reused. At the back I've got a couple of shelves with stuff I'm restoring. On the other side I've got twin slot shelving. These black bins have all got like different tools in, like one's got routers in, one's got a load of more screws in that's still in boxes, one's got like knee pads and tool belts, one's got like tie downs, string, straps, One's got electrical stuff in it. One's got like some old drills and some old sanders and stuff. Old power tools and things I use less regularly. Anything I use regularly is on the French cleat wall. Now, what is this? That is a light because I'm doing some restoration. That's a plane I've restored. I'm working on pipe wrench, restoring that record pipe wrench. This is an Air Ministry spanner that I'm restoring. And I've got loads of stuff to do, and that is on loads of stuff to restore, and that is on a new channel coming soon called Old School Restorations, which is kind of restoring stuff. That was pretty miserable. That was something like that. So check that channel out. Right, let's get onto this. I'll show a bit more of this side. So this part of this here, this is a, well, that looks like a bench top. It's actually just OSB with cedar underneath to make it a bit thicker, and that just acts as a secondary kind of bench top. You can see on here I've got a little sort of thing with drill bits, beer fridge, which my son got me for Father's Day. That's got beer and chocolate in, and also a pile of junk in the corner, which you always end up with. No matter how well prepared you are, there's always a pile of junk in the corner. Right, now let's have a look at the carts. Built out of offcuts, so the OSB was left over from obviously the walls and the outside. These red casters are really good. They're lockable, all four are lockable. They kind of smooth running, and yeah, it's just a good cart because it gives me an extra, almost like a tabletop. Obviously it's a table saw, which is useful in itself. I use this to help on the French cleat wall and actually cut all the angles for the French cleats. But yeah, a useful little cart. It's got a shelf in, got a pull-out bit there, all the minor fence and minor stuff goes in there. Yeah, I'll put a link to the casters down below. Just tucks in under there nicely. I don't need side. This is something else I'm going to restore. This is a record steel vise. Let's have a look at the Mitre Saw one. So again, on the red casters, really good casters, all lockable, easy to move around. I'll put the link down below. This one has got a offcut of kitchen worktop from a kitchen about, I don't know, 20 years ago. 2 shelves, offcuts of wood. You never know, you might need those. In here, it's a project that I never finished, that one day I will finish. But yeah, it works really well. The workshop's not huge, 2.5 by 3.5, just long enough so you can swing a bit of 2x4 timber around. But having this on wheels means you can kind of position it in the right place to get the cart when you haven't really got enough space, and also it frees up bench top space on this side. If I had the Mitre Saw there all the time, it would just be space I couldn't use, but this one, this way I can move it around, put it where I want, and yeah, just as useful. And of course this, that's one I think I forgot to mention, the top of this I made level with the top of the table saw, so I can use both carts together. If I'm cutting something long, I just pull this out, pull the table saw out, and it's flat, so I can lay something across the top of the table saw and across the top of here, it's the same level. Perfect planning. Right, that's it. That's the workshop tour. Any questions, let me know. See you on the next video.